Hello, everyone. Welcome to Verbling. This is an 11 o'clock in the evening English class here in Idaho. I guess it would be 7 a.m. In Spain and France and Germany. It would be 8 a.m. in Ukraine, Finland, Greece. It's noon in Siberia, and let's see what time. It's midnight in Colombia, and it's in the middle of the night in Brazil. So, all right. So today's lesson is on generation gap. So we're going to talk about different issues between generations. So welcome. My name is Holly, and I am originally from the US, and I've been living here now for about 5 years again. I was away from my home state for 20 years, and I was out of the States for about 13 of those 20 years. I lived in Finland for 11 years, and I lived in South Korea for just under 2 years. So, all right, and somebody is here. Yay, welcome.
Hello.
I recognize your voice. Bear with me. So, hi, Anatoly, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. So it's is it 9 in Moscow right now?
Yes, 9 a.m.
All right, I'm starting to
morning.
get the times down. I'm starting to really get this. It's great. Never did that when I was teaching before. So, hey, is it Gabo?
This is Jabo.
Jabo. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Jabo. Where are you from, Jabo?
I'm from Taiwan.
Taiwan. What? Yeah. Awesome. All right, you are my.
Okay.
You are the first Taiwanese I've taught here at Verbling so far.
Oh, really?
So,
it's my honor. It's my honor to talk with you.
Awesome. And are you new to a Verbling, or have you been with Verbling for a while?
Yeah, I'm new to Verbling. Yeah. Just several times in class.
Awesome. So. Great. Well, nice welcome. Welcome. Okay. So, see, what time is it in Taiwan? Would it? Let me see if I can guess the time. Is it about 2 in the afternoon?
No, right now it's 1 p.m.
1. Okay, so I got it. I was an hour off. All right.
2 o'clock. I think it's in Japan, right?
It might be. It might be. I think. Are you guys an hour different from Japan?
Yes. Yes.
I know that Japan and Korea are the same, and then mainland China is about an hour. So I guess Taiwan, I guess, would be near that. Yeah. Cool.
Different place. Yeah. We have different government.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, between mainland China and Taiwan, we have different governments. So we are not the same person. Although we have the same ancestor, but we are not quite the same.
Is it your language also? It's similar but different. Like, is it true that the Taiwanese language has a different number of tones?
Yeah, different accent. But we also speak Mandarin. And what Chinese people say, we can understand, no problem. But they have a very special kind of accent. Just like everywhere, you know.
Yeah, I had when I was in graduate school for a summer, I had a girl come in and stay in my place for the summer, and I was teaching in the intensive English program, and she moved in, and the next week I started teaching, and guess who walks into my classroom? But my roommate. And she walks in and she goes, oh. And that was an interesting summer. Yeah, but yeah, she was from Taiwan, and I learned a lot about Taiwan that summer. So
great.
Yeah, and so Jabo, this is David from Colombia, and Anatoly from Russia, and then we have Alonzo from Peru. So the thing that's nice about Verbally is it's a very international classroom, and you have people from all over, so it's really nice. So
but it's a nice website, and I can practice English with everyone. Everyone have different kinds of language.
And it works, and it's great for your guys' language acquisition, and at work it makes it even easier for you all. So, all right, well let's go ahead and get started. The topic now is on generation gap, and so do you guys ever feel a generation gap between your family members? Alonzo, I think you're probably the youngest person here. Do you ever feel a generation gap between you and your parents or your grandparents?
Generation gap is when you need your family, you really, really need your family?
No, a generation gap is actually when you don't understand your family because you're from the wrong generation.
Yeah, sometimes my mom and also my sister.
Okay. And how about you, David? Do you ever feel like there's a generation gap between you and your family?
Yes, Holly. With my grandpas, with my parents, I feel that we have different ways to see the life and different ways to think.
Yeah. So, yeah, and how about you, Anatoly?
Yes, I think yes, but not so much maybe.
Yeah, I think the older you get, the less of a gap there is. But when we're younger, it feels like it's a huge gap. So, and how about you, Jabo?
Yeah, sometimes I feel that I feel my mom he is older generation, and sometimes her thinking is more conservative, and for the young generation they are thinking more open. Yeah, it's opener than the older generation. And they dare to do something. They are very brave.
Have any of you guys felt the other way, where you felt a gap between you and people who are younger than you? So I was teaching in Finland, and I was in my 30s, and I didn't realize I was so old until I started teaching teenagers, and I was like, oh, wow. I really felt a generation gap there. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started on this. We're going to do a vocabulary gap and matching on, these are different words that have to do with this topic. And then we're going to actually do a lot of different discussion activities. So we've got these words. We've got adolescence, allowance, autonomy, curfew, generation gap, growing pains, latchkey child, or actually latchkey kid as well, privacy, and to socialize. Okay, are there any of these words that you are not familiar with? Please ask away.
Yeah, I don't know, what does allowance mean?
Allowance, okay. Allowance is what some families give their kids. Maybe they will give them a certain amount of money every week as an allowance. Okay. Personally, I never received an allowance, and I had few friends that got them, but most of the people I knew did not get allowances, but I've heard about them. So. Okay, Jabo, do you have any words that you do not know?
How about a latchkey child?
A latchkey child. Okay, a latchkey child is a child, and in American English, we actually say a latchkey kid, but a latchkey child is a child who comes home from school with a key and lets themselves in and takes care of themselves for 4 or 5 hours until their parents get home from work. And for example, I think my generation in the 70s, we were the first ones where our mothers were working, and so we would come home and take care of ourselves, or our older siblings would do that. Is that common in your countries for children to take care of themselves after school?
Yeah, but it's sort of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How about in Russia? Anatoly, are latchkey kids common?
Latchkey child?
Yeah.
When children are more independent.
Okay.
I'm not sure that I understood the definition.
Yeah, but basically what it means with the latchkey, it just means that the children or the kids are coming home from school, and they have a key that they're holding on to, and they let themselves go home by themselves. Mother is not there to greet them. So that's what that is.
Yes, I think it is not so common, but it also other place where I live.
Okay, not very common. How about welcome, Ake?
Yes, how?
Okay, do you guys have latchkey kids very much in Japan?
Latchkey kid child?
A latchkey child is a child who comes home from school, lets themselves in with their own key, takes care of themselves until their parents get home from work.
Yeah, some kids are like that, yes, because both of the parents are working. So yeah.
Okay. And there's a noise. I'm not sure where that noise is coming from. I'm thinking it's you, Ake. Yeah, it's you. Okay. So when you're not talking, go ahead and mute. Okay. All right. Are there any other words? David, Alonzo, do you know all the words here? Do you understand everything?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Ake, do you understand all these words in this list?
What is curfew?
Curfew. Okay. Curfew is when parents tell kids, oops, I just did something wrong. Bear with me a moment. Curfew is when parents tell kids what time they have to be home. So when I was growing up, my brother's curfew was 10:30 in the weeknights, and 11:30 in the weekends.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this matching. Let's start. Ake, could you read the first line on the right-hand side? I'm sorry.
Okay. Emotional adjustment encounter during stage of development.
Okay. So what would that be?
Growing pains.
Yes. Growing pains. Okay. Alonso, could you read the next one?
A difference in attitude and behavior between older people and younger people, which often causes them to argue.
Argue.
Argue. What does mean that word?
Which one?
The last. Argue.
Argue. Okay, argue means to verbally fight. To fight with words.
Okay, I have a discussion.
Okay. Okay. And
okay.
Anybody know what that one would be?
It is a title of class.
Title of the class. Generation gap. Yes, absolutely. Okay. And Anatoly, can you read the next one?
Desirable state of being away, for example, other people.
It's actually from. That was a mistake.
From. This is being away. Autonomy. Yes? No?
Autonomy? No. It's not autonomy.
Privacy?
It's privacy, yes. Yeah, so it's privacy. So the desirable state of being away from other people. Okay. Next one. David, can you read the next one?
Yeah. Money given by parents, child, group, often given by alone.
Okay, yes. Okay. So that's the allowance. Okay. And David, your sound is starting to get bad. I'm not sure why. So, okay, next one. Jabo, can you read that one?
Natural hostility and competition between siblings. I could find one on the left. I couldn't, yeah. Maybe I guess. Socialize. Yeah.
It's not there.
It's not there. Yeah, it's very, yeah, funny.
Let me add it because it's
okay.
It's definitely not there.
It's a mistake, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a mistake. So that's what I get for grabbing from somebody else. Okay, this would be sibling rivalry.
Oh, sibling rivalry. Okay, I see.
So, and this is, natural hostility and competition between siblings, definitely. Does everybody know what a sibling is? Alonso, do you know what that is?
Yeah, brothers and sisters.
Awesome. Okay. Did you guys have sibling rivalry between your siblings?
All the time.
All the time? Okay. Anatoly, did you guys?
I don't have any sibling as myself, but I have 2 children. I think when they were very young, it happened. But after they grow, I think they don't have a rivalry. They are more friends than rivals.
Yeah, I think when they become adults, maybe. I don't know. Are you guys all friends with your siblings now? David, are you friends with your siblings yet?
Yeah, Holly. Well, the only sibling that have is my sister that has 14, and well, actually, we sometimes fight, but the relationship, the friendship is good. It's not, yeah, common is very good. Usually, is good.
Okay, good, awesome. How about you, Jabo? Are you friends with your siblings?
No.
No. Okay. I have 4 siblings, and I would say that I am friends with 3 of them. So I have one brother that he's not friends with us. So, and Aka, how about you? Are you friends with your siblings?
No, no.
No. Okay, so it's still some sibling rivalry. Anatoly continues. Alonso, how about you?
Yeah, but not like friend, but we have a good relationship.
Okay, so you do have a good relationship, yeah. I have
Mm-hmm.
one brother that he doesn't know how to treat his baby sisters right. So, but otherwise they're great.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I'm babysitter of my niece.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, next one. Jabo, can you read the next one?
Okay. A young child or working parents who spends part of their at home unsupervised. Okay, latchkey child. Is that right? Hello?
Yes, that's completely correct. We also use the word latchkey kid. I've lost my mouse. Bear with me.
Okay.
Question for you guys: in your cultures, at what age can kids stay at home alone?
I think 8 or 9 age, 9 or 9.
9 or 8 or 9?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, that's in Peru. How about in Russia?
Maybe from 7.
Okay, from the ages of 7. How about in Japan?
Maybe the small kid, yeah, 6 or 7, but for young teenagers, maybe 10 or so.
Okay. Okay. And David, how about Colombia?
Yeah, who is the kid is very young. I think we usually in Colombia we have the customer to do that. Say, for example, the grandpa, the grandma that take care of the child.
Uh-huh.
Well, because it's very common sometimes that the grandmas live with one of her daughters.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they take care of the children too.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And so, do any children stay at home alone? I mean, is there a specific age that they can stay at home without supervision?
Well, without supervision, is because we take care so much about them. So maybe after 12 or more.
Okay. Or it's very, very late then. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about in Jabo? How about in Taiwan?
In Taiwan, maybe at the age of 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
The parents allow them to stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it depends on the family wealth. If a rich family, they will hire maid to care about their children at home. Yeah.
Yeah, or like David said, if there's a multi-generation, maybe the grandparent will stay at home or something. Like my personal situation, I'm actually living with my sister and brother-in-law, and they have 5 children at home right now, ages 1, 2, 5, 5, and 6. And one of the reasons they asked me to move in with them was because of the kids. So, and so so it's for them. It's nice just to have a third adult there to take care of the kids, like David described. So, in my country, I would say about 9 or 10 is when kids can start staying at home alone, but only during the day. Okay. Let's go. Next one. Independence, ability to control one's own life. What is that one? Anybody know?
Autonomy.
Autonomy. Very good pronunciation, by the way. Very, very good pronunciation. So autonomy. Okay. Yeah. Next one. Time set by parents at which children must return home, especially in the evening.
Curfew.
Curfew. Yes. Curfew. Okay. Period of growing up from puberty to maturity. Does everybody know what this is? What puberty is?
Adolescence.
It's part of adolescence. Puberty is when the body starts changing. So.
Whoa.
Yep. I'll get this. I've tried to write with that, and it's really difficult to write with a mouse. So. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so every age is beautiful in its own way. At some time, there are problems typical only for a certain age. Below are some of them. So let's talk about this and match them with a particular age period and try to continue the list. Okay, so the first one, falling down and having bruises. Is there a specific age that kids do that? Or adults? Any Jabo or Alonso? What are you?
When we are a child.
Okay. What ages maybe?
4 or 5 years.
Okay. So maybe I'm thinking 2. 2 to 12. Does that sound about right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 4 or 5 too. What age do people rear children? Anatole or Jabo?
Rearing children. Maybe after 18. Yeah.
Okay, 18 plus.
Yeah.
I'm trying to write.
Because in my country, people allowed to get married after 18.
After 18.
Yeah.
Mine as well. What is, in your country, Jabo, what is the typical age that people get married and start a family?
Average, I think maybe 24 to 28.
Okay. All right. How about in Colombia, David? Is there an average age that people get married and start having a family?
Oh, well, I think the things are changing, and right now, well, the young people doesn't want to get married very young because they want to develop professionally, make money, earn money, and travel, and have fun. And so maybe they are thinking in marriage like after 30s, or well, more or less.
Okay. So in their 30s, wow, that's pretty late. And Anatoly, how about in Russia? What's the average age for people to get married and start a family?
I think maybe 24.
24, okay. And how about in Peru, Alonso?
Well, I think it depends of the place where you are in my country. I mean, okay. For example, in the south of my country, sometimes it's when you have 15.
It could be 15.
15. When you're 50, for example, my grandma started her family when she had 15. She got married at that age. 15? Yes.
Wow. So it does vary. It depends on the family. Depends on the area.
Exactly.
Does it also depend on the socioeconomic background? So.
Yes.
Okay. All right. How about in Japan? Okay. What is the?
Nowadays, 30.
30. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I lived in Korea 20 years ago, it was very, very similar to Taiwan. It was between about 24 and 28. And in Finland, most people they end up living together for several years, and then they get married, probably after their first child's born. So, and there's no average age actually in Finland. In the U.S., it's similar to Peru. It depends on the area. Some people, it's when they're 18. Other people when they're 35. And we don't really have an average age at all. So, all right. Growing pains. At what age, okay, do people have growing pains?
Adolescent days, maybe 20 to 20, 20 into 20.
20 to 20?
Yeah.
You mean this 20 right here?
20, yeah.
Okay, you mean 12.
To 20.
12.
Oh, sorry, yeah, man. Oh my gosh, yeah. My brain can't work.
I was going to say, are you awake? What time It's afternoon. Did you just wake up? Okay.
12 to 20.
Okay. So it's your morning. Have you had coffee yet?
I'm drinking black tea.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. At what age do people start being rejected by peers?
Peers? You mean parents or?
Peers. Peers are people the same age. Anyone.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, do you have an idea?
Start peers?
Rejected by peers.
Maybe from the middle school or high school.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, does everyone agree with that, Jabo?
I think when people get into the school, yeah, because they meet that or peers.
Okay.
So maybe from kindergarten or elementary school, they start to being rejected by peers. Yeah,
okay.
Because there's so many students.
Okay, so school age.
School age, yeah.
Like in this, we're going to do the states K to 12. So which would be 5 to 18. Okay. All right, and Alonzo, diaper rash, infant diseases. At what age would that be?
What does since they born? Since they born?
Yeah. So babyhood. So
baby. Yeah.
Yeah, as a baby, basically. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not getting along with parents. David, what age would that be?
Not getting along with parents, I think is from the teenagers.
Okay.
For teenagers, and after that.
13 to where?
Yeah, it's a difficult age.
13. When do we start getting along with our parents?
Well, maybe when we are like adults, or maybe maybe when you are not living together.
Oh, not when you're not living with them. Okay, so that depends.
Because
I know.
You
yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And because when you are living together, it's like the relationship is not very.
Okay. So maybe we can do 13 to 22, but it might be older for some people. It might be never for some people. Okay.
Yeah.
Separation and divorce. When does that happen, Jabo?
I think this situation will be happen after someone who get marriage.
Okay.
Who get married, yeah, and if if the couple doesn't get so well, they argue. They had argument or fighting. They were divorced and separated.
Yeah, so after marriage. So sometime after marriage. I should probably type this. This is hard. Okay, anxiety for children. Anatoly.
It could happen just after the children would be born.
Well, anxiety for children, I think it means wanting children.
Wanting after marriage.
Yeah, after marriage. Okay, choosing a college. David.
Choosing a college, well, when you finish high school, well, I think it's between 16, you are a good student, and between 20.
Okay, 16 and 20. Okay, that would be an average. Okay, yeah. In my country, it would be between 17 and 19 probably. Okay, dating someone. Okay.
Dating someone, probably from 14.
14 plus.
Yeah.
Okay. In the States, there's a lot of conservative families, and they can't date until they're 16. Are there any other families like that in your country?
Probably yes. Some parents are conservative, or some parents are not.
Okay. How about everybody else? What is the average age that people start dating, or does it depend on the family? How about in Russia?
I think average age may be a little later, from 16.
Okay.
Maybe 15.
Okay, a little before 16. Okay, so about 15. Okay. How about in Taiwan?
In Taiwan, I think from puberty, yeah, and they are very cute. At this period, the young guys are very curious about to dating, yeah, to dating someone.
Okay, yeah, and how about in Peru?
I think it's 11.
11. Okay, so from puberty. Okay, David, how about in Colombia?
I think the young people start to date maybe after 14 or 15.
Okay, after 14 or 15. Okay, so the U.S., it's for some families, it's 11, 12, 13, 14. Others, it's 16, 17, 18. And then in some families that are so very conservative, they don't. I had a friend in high school that when she went on a date, she had to have a chaperone. Do you guys know that? What that is?
No. The person who will stay with you during the date.
Yeah, the chaperone is an extra person. So usually someone older, that she couldn't go anywhere with the boy alone. And I guess she was telling me that she actually did. They ditched the chaperone somewhere, and they ended up going by themselves. But empty nest syndrome. About what age is this? Does everybody know what that is?
Maybe when your kids are growing up and they are going to leave you, and to start another family, and you feel like your nest empty.
Yep, that's exactly. And I think a lot more women have the problem than men. I think it's 40 plus, I think, for most people. Unless they're, of course, unless they were teenage parents. But, okay, being shy and tongue-tied. When do people do that?
I think this is depending on people's personality. Mm-hmm. It could be old age.
Yeah. I was thinking, so it could be any age that you're shy and tongue-tied.
Yeah.
Okay. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's go on.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can you explain again, please, what mean empty nest?
Empty nest is when the kids leave the home. So the empty nest is usually the first, when their final child, their last child leaves, and they have no more kids at home.
Okay.
So I know that, like in my family, there were 5 children. There was 3 boys and my twin sister and I. And when my oldest brother left, my mom was so sick about it. She cried and she just had a hard time with it. When my sister and I left, she couldn't wait for us to get out the door. So she wanted to start this empty nest life. So. But my dad had a harder time seeing his daughters leave. So, okay, let's go on to the next one. Parents and children may not see eye to eye on a lot of things. Parents may scold you for the way you wear your hair or for coming home too late. And some of us here are parents, right? So below are some examples of misconduct that may easily make some parents angry. Rank them in decreasing order and continue the list. We'll just rank them in order. And let's talk about them. What do you think is in your opinion, Anatoly, what do you think is the most difficult situation here? And as a parent, what would you do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe dating the wrong person.
Okay. So what would you do as a parent?
It is a classic plot of Romeo and Juliet.
Uh-huh.
Nothing new.
Oh, nothing new. What would you do if you had an 18-year-old daughter who was dating a 38-year-old man?
I would try to speak with her.
Huh? Okay.
To explain that in different age, people are seen for life from different point of view. Mm-hmm. And I would try to explain her how it could get in after a few years, several years.
Mm-hmm. There might be problems. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Alonzo, which situation here do you think is the most difficult? And if you were a parent, what would you do?
Listen to music at full volume.
Uh-huh. Okay, so that would be the most difficult one in your opinion?
Yeah, because my mom has a business on the first floor.
Yeah.
And my room is at the second, and sometimes I listen to music, and my mom is angry.
Okay, so you're actually you're still living with your parents, right?
Yeah, so, I'm 22.
Okay, so you're actually in this situation. You're an adult, but you're living with your parents, and that's the one that's the most frustrating one for you guys. So what do you guys do? How do you solve this problem?
Well, when when my mom isn't home, I try to listen music with headphones. And when she's not here, I listen music with full volume.
Okay. Compromised it. Okay. All right. Jabo, how about you? Which one of these situations do you see as being the most difficult one to handle?
Most difficult one, I think, if my child is overlooking his studies.
Okay.
It could be a problem, because education in Taiwan is very important.
Okay. And do you have any children?
No.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Anatoly, do you have kids? I think you said you did.
Yes, I have.
How old are they?
They are younger, 16 and 18.
Oh, they're 16 and 18? Okay. That's why dating the wrong person is important for you at that age. Yeah. Okay. Ake, what would you think is the most difficult situation here?
Maybe dating the wrong person could be
different.
Difficult. Yeah.
So, what would you do if your daughter was dating the wrong person?
It's very difficult to persuade because love is blind. So.
That's true. That's very true.
And if the parents react negatively, but that might cause, more desire. Want. So it's very difficult to. Deal with.
My mom claims that her kids, even though her kids are between the ages of 45 and 52, she still says that all of us will always do opposite of what she says. So, all right. What would you do, Jabo, if you were a parent and your teenage kids invited some friends over when you were out for the weekend?
If they invite some friends, some righteous friend, I think it's okay. Yeah, no problem. But they invite some wicked friends, some bad friends, I will reject. I will persuade them not to do so. Yeah. Because it's quite dangerous to invite strangers into our house.
Okay.
Okay. So, Miss Holly, excuse me. May I go to the toilet just for 1 minute? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You just write on the chat.
Right on the chat.
What you do? Well, on the verbal chat, you write BRB. Be right back.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm the first time here. Okay.
No worries. I'm glad you asked. Okay.
See you.
And Alonzo, what would you say to your teenage daughter who's tying up the telephone?
Oh, what I could say to her?
Yeah, what would you say to her?
That the telephone is expensive, and maybe not use the telephone, but that she can hang out, but not so late, but not too late.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's go on to the next activity. Let's do this conversation practice. We've got about 10 minutes yet left. Anatoly.
Yes.
Let's go to some of these questions, and the first question that I have for you is, I'm going to ask you a question. You can answer it, and then you ask somebody else a question. You can ask the same question or a different question. Let's start with the first one. At what age do people start off being on their own in your country? That first one.
Yes, I think it depends of.
Depends on.
Depends on they set in marriage or not. Is she or he is getting going to marriage or not? After they decided to set up their own family, they separate, usually in that situation, or in other situation when they move to other place, other city for the job, for studying.
Do kids in Mexico, not Mexico, I'm sorry, do kids in Russia decide to go, like say for example, if they live in St. Petersburg, do they decide to go to a university in Moscow so they can be on their own?
Yes, it's right.
Yeah, okay. Okay, and is that the same everywhere else, or at what age? I'm kind of interested in this question for everybody. Japan, what age do people start going off on their own?
Going off means to earn.
To live alone.
Live alone. It's up to the person. But to enter the university is one kind of time to leave the house. Because if the university is far away from their home, they have to move to other town or live alone. Yeah.
So do they purposely choose a university far away so they don't have to?
Some people do. Yeah.
I think that's a worldwide. They were telling me, people in Spain were telling me the same thing. Alonso, how about in Peru? What age do people leave home?
I'm agree with Aka. But here is not just for the university. Sometimes it's for work.
Okay. So sometimes when people leave. So it's interesting that all three of you guys have said that you leave really for home, for work, university, or for marriage. So, okay. How about in Taiwan, Jabo? At what age do people start going off on their own in your country?
I think people start going of their own country. I think starting from their college time, because they want to choose the best college in Taiwan. So maybe they will go far away to join the college.
Okay.
And I think when people get married, they will choose to live in other country also.
Okay. And Anatoly, can you choose another question and ask somebody?
Okay. My question is for Ken, Aka Ken. At what age are people considered to be adults in your country?
Officially, it's 20. But before that, you can get a driver's license. So it's but officially it's 20.
Can you drink alcohol at 18?
Yeah. But before that, people can get a driver's license and get married. So maybe 18, probably in that sense.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Could you ask another question to somebody?
Okay. Do different generations of the family share the same apartment or house? Jabo?
Yes.
So they do?
I think it depends on the family. Yeah. And people in Taiwan, when they get married, they don't want to live with their parents, so they start to find some apartment and house to live. Yeah, because they found that his husband's parents, is not easy to get with, or his wife's parents is not easy to get along. So we need to find an apartment to live alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting in the U.S. And I think this is similar, and I've heard this in Spain as well, that it's not actually the kids that don't want to share the same apartment. It's actually the parents. So maybe a couple of years ago, I asked my mom to move in with me, and she refused. So because the parents want to be as independent as long as possible. So here it's completely opposite, I think. So, all right, Jabo, could you
Yes.
ask a question of somebody?
Mm, may I ask the gentleman, Aka, is that right? Aka?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are children encouraged to work for money outside of your homes? If yes, at what age? If no, what are the reasons?
Not so encouraged. Because maybe some school ban the children to work the part-time job, but maybe the high school students are relatively encouraged what can do to get a part-time job here.
What kind of part-time job can they get?
A fast food store, or restaurant, or newspaper boy. I was a newspaper boy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Maybe such kind of jobs are not required, but allowed. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, could you ask another question?
Okay. Alonso. What question? What may be the reason for conflict among peers?
Okay.
Peers is partners, I think, right?
Yeah, peers are people, classmates and people who are in the same age as you.
Okay. Maybe for first, I don't know if I can say this word, for stupid reasons, maybe sometimes. For example, a girl.
Uh-huh. and for the women, for the girls, it's usually a guy.
Yeah, I suppose that.
Yeah. So it's the opposite sex, we could say.
Uh-huh.
All right. Alonso, can you choose another question?
This is for Anatoly. Can I change some question,
Absolutely.
please?
Absolutely. You
Okay.
can do anything you want.
What is the principal problem that you have with your child, with your child?
With your children.
Children's, yes.
Okay. Children.
What is usual typical problem? Yes.
Exactly.
When they decide to stay alone from their parents, maybe this one. I mean, in activities, on holiday, or just everyday activities, because it's different from the age when they were younger.
So when they just want to not go with you guys, they want to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And when does that start? Or when did it start with your kids, Anatoly?
Maybe from age 12, 14, like this.
Uh-huh. And then maybe when they're in college, they'll want to be around their parents again, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Oh, it looks like we're out of time. I was going to ask a few more questions, but it looks like it's midnight my time. thank you very much for your time and attention and participation in this class. I do hope that you learned some new words and got a chance to practice English. I'll see you guys later, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.